Hey guys, welcome back to Funny Blunt Truth. We're on episode 18. We're sponsored by Keeper brand fishing apparel. If you guys want awesome, comfortable, breathable fishing apparel, clothing, t-shirts, please shop Keeper brand. We're going to provide a link to their site in the description of the episode. We have a special guest, Hilton Ariel Ruiz, producer and director of Zombie with a Shotgun. He's also known for 6666 Beyond the Halls of Paradise, Verado Mania, and a long list of shorts. You can check him out on IMDb. Hilton, welcome to the show.
Hey, what's up, guys? First of all, I'd like to thank you guys for having me on the show. I really appreciate that.
Oh, awesome, and thanks for being on. Don's also on the podcast, of course.
Here as always.
But yeah, man, thank you for being on. I was personally excited to have you on, and I've talked about this on previous episodes. I've written scripts, I've dabbled in short films, so to see somebody breaking out of the grind and actually making it and doing something, it's awesome, man. I'm generally happy for you. Like, I don't personally know you as a person like that, but I am happy for you. I like to see people make it, and it's inspiring, man. So, how did this whole Zombie with a Shotgun campaign, how did this all start for you?
It's, 4 years ago I started the whole, Zombie with a Shotgun. What happened is, I've been doing a lot of shorts. Obviously, you could see my record. And, horror genre, everyone loves the horror genre. And, it's one of my favorite genres. And it was just strange that, I had this, how many years, 15 to 20 years, I was doing this. And I never really explored the horror genre. And, I've came out during the years of, 93, 94, 95. I did my studies when that whole explosion of, you had, Buffalo 66 and you had Brothers McMullen and you had Pulp Fiction coming out and you had that whole independent craze going on. And that's the era that I was from. And that was the era that when I went into schooling and to do filmmaking, we concentrated on trying to create those kind of dialogue driven kind of snappy films for the new, era during that time. Mm-hmm. And, so, that's the group that I hung out with and I really explored horror. But I thought, it actually helped out with my, writing and technique and learning a little bit more, just not, dabbling just in the horror. So I did not begin it, but I always wanted to, but it's like, when am I going to have the time? Of course, when you have a group of, your colleagues you're hanging out with, you usually stick with all you guys are doing. Mm-hmm. So what happened is, 4 years ago, I'm like, you know what? It's the industry's changed a lot, obviously, with the digital revolution going on and everything like that. You was able to, do things in a very, low scale and still look great. Mm-hmm. And the market started getting really different, where, of course, online you could promote your stuff. And the film festival circuit started getting a little bit kind of smaller, because before that was the only way you could showcase your product.
That was your outlet.
Yes, that was the only outlet. And then with the whole thing with online, that was your main outlet. Mm-hmm. And it was like, wow, there's a lot more things to do. Horror is the number one genre for, online VOD, and also you don't have to have an A-list cast for people mm-hmm. to go out, watch it and everything like that. So
right.
I said, you know what? I wanted to do my own interpretation of zombies, and I said, look, let me just do one. And I always wanted to do kind of like a love story crossover from zombies, a love story, and I said, hey, let's do this whole zombie thing. And the magic thing with the whole thing was also title. There's all these titles for horror, for zombie, Like I'm not, like I said, zombies has been on forever, I'm not reinventing the wheel or anything like that. Mm-hmm. But the thing was, what titles are you gonna have? You have Zombie Apocalypse, you have the zombie, you have all this stuff. So I just thought of, hey, Zombie with a Shotgun, you had Hobo with a Shotgun.
Dude, which I love that movie.
Yes. And I figured, having that Zombie with a Shotgun would have create more of it'll grab people more, And when people watch the series, people get a little bit confused, and I guess because of the Hobo with a Shotgun, they expect it to be more kind of like that. And I think that's the cool thing also. When people watch it, they expect that kind of like, shoot 'em up going crazy thing. And then when they see it, they're like, huh, it's
Mm-hmm.
not that, but kind of, it's still kind of intriguing. And the title is intriguing with the story. It has that, it has that a lot of people have come say, hey, zombies is not my thing, but this is really cool, It has, a lot of people's calling me, oh, it's great. It's good. It has a science fiction into it. It has the horror kind of thing into it. It has the romance kind of thing. It has that kind of quirky thing going in. So everything, it hits all those kind of, elements that I just said. And the first episode came out and I think, it just stuck to everybody and it just, dude, it started just slowly but surely. Yes. Until like now it's like, it's become its own thing and,
is
really
it surreal?
excited. Excuse me?
Is it like, surreal for you?
Yes, absolutely. I can't even imagine like 4 years starting how it has, developed into this point that I'm like, there's no point in return of like, I can't stop because, everybody loves to have opportunities like this and having a product that's getting popular out there and has sort of like a brand. It's very hard, to have that and having Zombie with Shotgun 4 years ago just keep on climbing and climbing. And even I've done other things also, I've done other things and then I thought that maybe the craze of Zombie with Shotgun would go away. It never went away. It just constantly people wanted more and more and more.
Let me actually hit upon that because when doing some research, you have a severely dedicated following. Your viewers, the people, so normally, to more to the point, normally when you go on like, let's say, a YouTube or Vimeo or however you pronounce it, usually it's filled with vitriol in all the comment sections. I noticed as I went from, your movies, or from one website to the other, all the comments were extremely positive. I mean, that's something that's rare.
That is so interesting you say that because last week, I think I had someone for the first time said something kind of negative.
Like a hater?
And yeah, and I wasn't used to it.
What's his name? We'll find him.
Get him.
Yeah, so then I was like, but it wasn't criticizing the story and everything, it was criticizing more the actors. But, it was like a first time like, dude, that's pretty strange. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, and the thing is, I'm going to honestly tell you, being in doing projects, working so many years, you have to develop tough skin. I've had people in, years that I've done projects tell me, your work is crap, garbage. And, when you start off, it gets you upset,
Hits you like a dagger.
Yeah, but I developed this tough skin that if somebody told me I laugh, I was like, okay, whatever. I've heard worse. That's what I would tell somebody, dude, I've heard worse. People's told me, many things.
Yeah.
And people criticize even the best projects out there, but yes, you're absolutely right.
Man.
The fans have a very positive thing of this and it's pretty amazing. I promoted more on Vimeo. I do have it on YouTube. And you know what? It's one of those weird things. A lot of people say, "Oh, why don't you put it on YouTube?" It's like, I don't know. It's just one of those weird things because, during that time, Vimeo, they promoted that they do their own codec differently where YouTube does Flash. They convert your videos into Flash, where Vimeo has like this sort of like different codec that no one knows that it looks better, the quality, the colors. And it's true. When you look at Vimeo stuff and you look at YouTube, the Vimeo stuff stays a little bit more true to your raw footage, with the colors are more vibrant and everything. I was like, let me check this out. And I did it. And, when you do compare it, it's true. But it's not one of those things, it's not like I chose one, but Vimeo I promoted and it's become, it's been still, watching people and very popular.
Yeah.
Now, is that, just to jump in here, sorry, Dave, is that a portion, do you think, of the success you've had with the shorts is because you've had the internet there, whereas, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, that might have been a different story altogether?
That's a good question. That's a really good question. I would have to say, the internet made it really more, more out there. I think because if you guys remember in the film festivals, that was also kind of like a strategy you had to figure out, like which ones were the ones to choose because it's money. You have to pay, $25 here, $35, $40, and then you have to wait to get, to see if you get accepted. And then if it gets accepted, that's more fees to figure out how many you're going to get some posters out there and everything. So it was such a problem with money-wise also. You had to have a budget for that, for the film festivals. And, I think also with those film festivals, you had to have relationships with the whoever's running it. I mean, I'm going to be real. It's so true. I have friends that running festivals, and I have friends that brought film to fest, and they're all getting in because they know somebody that's there.
Slight
they
politics.
have,
yeah.
Yes, and that's the truth. There's no secret to that. And as years went by, I learned it. Even to this day, I have friends that they get into festivals because they know the people who's running it, operating it, or they know somebody in there. With the internet,
go ahead.
With I'm sorry. With the internet, you see what you get. There's no, there's still politics. You get somebody put it in on a higher sort of website. But yeah, go ahead.
I just gotta say, not to cut you off, I'm sorry. It's so awesome that you're so candid about this, because I've had my theories on this, and I've discussed this with Don, because Don is into film also, and Don likes to write, and I've entered like 48-hour film contests and all kinds of little low-level things. And, we've discussed like breaking into the industry, and like, we talked about this before we got on air, like it's gotta be part talent, part drive, part luck, and part who you know. And I've always like theorized about this, but it's awesome hearing somebody who is like in that world just like flat out admitting it, that, part of it is like who you know, little connections here and there, and some of it is luck.
I think, people might get mad when I tell this to everybody, and people get really upset. I think all of it is luck. Of course you have to have some sort of talent, you could work the talent, but dude, how many times we see people that have no talent and they make it, so I'm just saying, I think all of it is luck, but you have to play in the game to get that luck, to catch that luck. You have to work at it, and eventually, hopefully, you can get luck, and as we spoke before we, recording, hey, I'll admit it, I'm not going to be out there and say, hey, I got lucky. I got really lucky where, everything kind of aligned with, the people that I worked with to the series becoming very popular. Even with the comic book, I got lucky with that, Simona, who came on board, just basically approached me and basically said, dude, I love this. I want to work on a comic. I mean, dude, that's luck. That's not me going, hey, I this guy or, somebody. No, that's luck. And that was the truth. And I was like, wow, I can't even, this doesn't even get better. And, there is, don't get me wrong. If you have talent and that luck factor comes in hand, yes, you will succeed more because you have that talent.
More of a chance.
But and then there is a lot of people that, as I said before, don't have talent, they make it and they get the luck factor. And they still continue their success and everything like that.
Kardashians?
Yeah, I mean, I know, right? We all,
you don't have to comment. It's okay.
No, we will.
I'll take the heat for that one.
That ultimate luck. But, hey, I with the Kardashians, run with it, baby. Run with the luck.
I think we have the same,
and just go for it.
I think we have the same mindset here on the show as well, too. It's one of those things that if you can make it a success, just go do it. Go be a success. There's a lot of people out there bashing other people for success. And, Dave and I have very similar opinions on that. When somebody says, oh, I want to open up my own flower shop and quit my 9-to-5 office job, we say, you know what? Go do it then. Be successful. Do that. Somebody the other day told me they wanted to be a stewardess. She's going to college for whatever the case is. And the parents are against it. We've actually heard this from some of our other celebrity guests as well too. Dave and I always say, if that's what you want to do, just go out there and do it, man. And if you're a Kardashian and you can just write off I don't even know how the hell they're famous, to be honest. I'm such a Luddite sometimes, but, even though that's for technology, but you know what I mean? Like, if they're gonna do it and they're gonna make millions, rock on,
For me, man, it's, go ahead.
Dude, that's what I say. No, I totally agree. Just go for it, man. You could just do it and just run and keep running with it.
It's, whatever makes you happy. I'm an advocate of like following your passions, but the problem is that the way the system is built, like, there's a lot of fear with like jumping and chasing your dreams because we all work that 9-to-5. We're afraid of like leaving what we know and taking a chance. And you have like a lot of negativity around you, like people who maybe doubt themselves. They'll try to like tear you down and tell you, no, it's too hard and yada yada. So, that kind of leads me into another question for you, Hilton. How much, like negativity as opposed to positivity have you faced where you've had people, kind of try to discourage you in a way, say, hey, like it's so hard and what are the odds and yada yada. Have you had haters?
I still have it. Yeah, I have a lot of people that always say, dude, that's so hard. I give an answer to them all the time. I say, but dude, what isn't? Everything you do is hard. Is whatever you put your mindset into it and you do what you want to do and, and you get out there. That's what I tell a lot of people. The negativity that I got with zombie, yeah, of course I do get negativity. What's a lot of negativity that I get mainly with zombie with shotgun is basically, you're wasting your time. The zombie genre is already saturated. The zombie genre, you're wasting, look, you can't reinvent The Walking Dead. Walking Dead is the best thing out there. You can't compare. You're never going to do it. And, I do get that a lot. I do get that a lot, especially people who, like in social media, people who direct message me and they just want to say that to feel good about themselves, and, sometimes, I tell people, hey, you know what? I give you an example. Another thing that people always tell me, oh, I'm tired of the zombie genre. There's, it's already, done with, it's
played out.
Zombie drama is fading out, it's going out. And I tell people, well, you know what? There's a lot of cop movies, action movies, western movies, vampire movies, freaking, all the type of movies. I said that's just part of the whole American pop culture. There's always room for one more good story.
Yeah, I love zombies.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the whole negativity and people just, that's just basically the big negativity when it came to just this particular project that I'm doing is basically saying you're wasting your time because the genre, is saturated. Yeah, it's true. I mean, dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. It is, but I like it. This is what I love. This is what I create. And, I'm gonna keep on going with it. But again, as I tell somebody, hey, but if I do a cop movie, how many cop movies are out there?
A million.
Oh my God, there's never a shortage. Jeez.
Yeah, so it's like what isn't out there that's not already been done? And even when you go out there and you try to go out of the box, no one's gonna pay attention to you. It would take you even more years to try to hit that luck. That luck factor is huge when you do experimental stuff that, no one's gonna watch because you're trying to do something that's out of the box.
Out there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And, that's, and, of course you got always the regular people saying, oh, this is, it's just so hard to make it. It's just so hard to make it. People kind of measure their success. Yes, the benchmark is, the money and getting the money and success. People just, sometimes, don't realize that, sometimes, creating your artwork is what you love, and for some, for a lot of people, it's, doing that, you already made it. And, there's a lot of people out there that make money, don't have to be out in the, Hollywood, and they still continue to do their careers, but you're always going to get negativity with it. And, but I have to tell you, a lot of the haters are starting to believe now.
That's awesome.
That's good. Man. That's good though.
Like I said, I've experienced it on a lower level. Even like with this podcast, like Don and I talk about it, we have hopes and dreams for the show, like we're doing well, but we want to go other places with it. And when you tell people things that are like out of the norm, like you want to be an astronaut or something, they'll look at you like you're crazy, and they'll tell you a million reasons why you shouldn't do it or can't do it. Because I think it's kind of like a projection of doubt in themselves, So like a lot of people are like crabs in a bucket, man. They'll pull you down, but once you do make it, everybody's on board. Like, that's
just like crabs in a bucket.
Yeah.
Yes. But, I have another question for you, Hilton.
Yep.
So, who do you admire in the industry? And is there anybody that you try to like emulate?
That's a good question.
I mean, you probably can see it in some of, my work that I do. Of course, I love James Cameron, a lot of his work. And, Ridley Scott, there was like my very like,
awesome
guys
directors.
I like. Yeah. It's kind of hard to always like, to me, I think like every single director has that one, masterpiece or that one you know, and they always got that one piece in the body of their work that I admire. And I like to take little bits and pieces of these filmmakers that are out there. You know, I love Cronenberg, you know, all his stuff is just amazing, you know. I take, yeah, The Fly, you know, Dead Zone is one of my favorites from him. So, you know, you take these pieces from there and moments from projects that I really admire. You know, sometimes the movie is not the best movie, but, you know, there's something in the movie that, you know, you'll watch just for that moment. Like, dude,
some of the elements.
That moment was kick ass. Even the movie wasn't good, but you just watch it for that. And, you know, I mean, those guys are pretty much up there that I really, admire, you know, but, you know, it's just a hard question because tomorrow could be different, you know what I mean? It could be, and I could say, hey, Quentin Tarantino's one of them, everything, but I could say, you know, they all inspire me, you know, you got John Carpenter, of course, you know, the horror guys and,
Halloween 1 and 2.
Yeah, you have those guys and.
Oh my God, The Thing. That's like one of my favorite movies ever.
Thing. That's a fantastic movie. One you can just sit there and analyze over and over and over again. You can watch that movie a million times and get something new every time.
Yeah. That's like legit one of my top 10. And Hilton, it's funny you bring up James Cameron because I was just watching James Cameron earlier on YouTube on the Aliens 30th anniversary like panel. And that's like one of my favorite movies too, man. Aliens is just like freaking awesome.
Oh yeah, I know, it's amazing. I hear they have the new one coming out, right? It's called
Yep, they have Covenant, and then Neil Blomkamp, I think, is working on a 5th Alien movie, and they're trying to get Sigourney Weaver on board and Michael Biehn to come back as Hicks. And
I heard that she agreed on it.
Oh, I am so excited for that.
Yeah,
and especially with Neil Blomkamp helming the movie, that's gonna be badass.
Oh yeah.
He has an awesome style. District 9, what a great.
I heard he campaigned for it. I heard that he did some concept drawings and went to the studio to campaign for the job, and they gave,
Yep, the concept art looks insane. It looks amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that one.
Oh yeah, especially if Sigourney Weaver just definitely goes in it, dude. You can't go wrong with that.
You can't.
Yeah, let me ask you here, Hilton. You've obviously seen the first Alien and the second Aliens.
Yeah.
Which one would you prefer? If you just had a choice between the two, because Dave and I have this discussion frequently about these two. Because I have a feeling the first one. I have a feeling the first one is more of like a subtextual, you know, like art house movie, and then the second one is more of a action movie. But I'm just curious, which one would you lean towards?
I'm going to go for the first one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
For the first one.
Thank
whatever, guys. Whatever.
Yeah, a lot of that. A lot of the lighting on the first one was just incredible. Even the way it was storytelling was just beautiful. I love the first one. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's close. I mean, because you know, like you said, you have more of that kind of art house, kind of like independent kind of feel with the first one. The second one, you have that action pack. But dude, they're both awesome. But as years go by, I start to more lean to the first one.
Yeah, I think it's the same with me as I get older too. And I think it's because when you're young, you see it and it's violent and it's crazy and you're like, this is awesome, and I don't know why. And then there was a certain point when I was watching the movie and I realized how sexual the movie was. You know, at least, you know, cause the older I get, the more I get into film analysis. And you can think of that whichever way. I think a lot of film analysis is just like a personal reflection projected upon, but yeah, a lot of like Kubrick movies and stuff are really what I love. But the first Alien movie, you know, especially with H.R. Geiger's artwork with the big alien, you know, penis heads.
Yes.
They actually had toned down for the movie, but the whole thing about women empowerment and the fear, I think, of male, violation. For me, that's like almost the whole movie, and the mothership represents an actual mother and them coming out of the womb in the beginning and like stuff like that where there's a couple different narratives going on.
Yep. Oh yeah. They have a pretty interesting book on that. I mean, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's like you said, I agree with you. When you get older, you start to see things differently, and you start to say, "Whoa, dude, I missed that when I was young. Like now I know why." You know what I mean?
I love Aliens so much. because I think there's like so much to it. And I think Aliens and T2, and it's funny because Cameron did both. I think those are two of the rare occasions where a sequel it actually like lives up and they're like almost as good as the originals, if not better. That's my opinion.
Dude, the freaking Terminator 2 stands today.
Yes.
It is,
Holds
dude, wasn't
up.
it's like what, 25 years, like a
Yeah,
couple
it
weeks
came
ago?
out like in 93. I went to the theaters to see that. Like,
dude, it to this day stands up
yep.
to like all the movies. It's
100%.
unbelievable. And and that's another question. Which one do you prefer? Part 1 of Terminator or Part 1?
Trust me, we get into that all the time.
I personally,
that's like a standard, and it again goes the way of Aliens. I'm more of the first one. Dave's more of the second one.
Yeah, I think I'm more the first one too.
Yeah.
As far as T1 and T2, for me they're both equal. Like I love Part 1, and I personally think it's genius what Cameron did. How he took Arnie, that was the villain in the first one, made him the good guy, and made the smaller, more frail guy the villain. Like he was kind of unassuming. The T-1000, he was like, more dangerous actually in the film. But I love them both. And like you said, Hilton, T2 is like, it's crazy. It holds up. The same thing with the Matrix. Matrix never gets old. The Matrix is like the
first
jam.
Matrix is my jam, dude. I remember watching that, like it came out when I was in high school. And then when it finally came out onto VHS, I went out and got it. I literally watched that movie every single day when I got home. I mean, that was my jam, dude. I love the Matrix.
Great film.
The first one.
Oh, yeah.
If I could reel it back to Zombie with a Shotgun and Hilton, I saw the short online, and for you listeners, I'd advise to go check it out. It's really cool, and it's really ambitious for like, a lower budget, short and series. Yeah. And I love the music to it. I think the shots were like really ambitious and cool. It had a great feel to it, and it's a really cool take on the zombie genre. So, but I have a question. It's not related to what I just talked about. Hilton, so what personal sacrifices that you want to share that you've made to make this dream happen for yourself? Because I think some people think that it's like easy and Don and I both know whenever you want to try to go for something, it's hard, man. You got to put in the work. And I know in your case, you must have put in a lot of hours and just a lot of personal sacrifice.
Yeah, the number one thing for that, I would have to say financially, you have to figure out, hey, look, I have monies for this and, I really need, to use this money for, something that's, important in life. And you're like, but, I needed to do this. It's the only way that I can continue this is to take money out of my pocket and put it into the project that you believe in. And, that's the main sacrifice that you make. Of course, time, time takes away from everything, friends and family and everything. But, I guess that comes with the job. That comes with any job. But, but definitely the money, you put in the time and you start to say to yourself, is it really worth it? Did this, this monies that I use that I could have used for something else that was, important in life,
So you're saying you've had a lot of doubt, like at times?
You know what? I don't believe that I never had a doubt. I always felt that, it was always the right thing to do. But, you start to, wonder about, there's a choice that you have to make. Mm-hmm. And for me, believing in the project, I sacrificed financially to, for my work. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's sacrifices and also, like you said, hard work. For like even other projects, a lot of people, like you said, think that, this is something that you do simply, and, there's projects that you work on for months, possibly years. And, sometimes it's, you look at it like, damn, this took 4 years out of my life. And
yeah,
I just realized it's not going to work.
I mean, look at Kubrick. He worked on, Napoleon, which never got made, by the way, for almost his entire life. He worked away to get to that point and then was never able to make it.
And then, and you guys know this, how many projects you work on spec, on people to come on. There's projects that I worked on for a couple of years thinking it's going to be created and it's going to be made. And you find out that, It's not. Somebody
Falls
took the
apart.
project. Yeah. Or somebody took the project and you're like, dude, I got this damn script that I've been working on for years and never gonna see the light.
Hilton, let
Yeah.
me tell you, man, I got 4 that I'm sitting on, and I'm not talking about on the podcast to plug anything, but like I am legitimately an aspiring script writer, and you know, I've sacrificed myself, man. I put my stuff out there. I've dipped into my own pockets, like money, trying to make things happen, and it's hard, man, and it's discouraging at times, but like you said, you gotta follow your instincts and your gut, man, and keep believing. And like I said in the beginning of the show, man, I was just excited to have you on because, you know, seeing somebody make it, it's awesome.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm gonna add to that. You're right. It is very discouraging, and I'll tell you, you know, 4 years when I did this whole zombie thing, you know, I did the web series. I said, you know what? I'm gonna do this myself. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna go and hunt down people for money because that shit take forever and will never even probably happen.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So I said, I'm gonna go for it, man. And I did it. You know, I brought in a good team, you know, friends and everything like that who helped me out. We did it, you know, put it out there, got a lot of press on it and everything. And, you know, then we started with the whole comic book, you know, the whole press and everything like that with that, and it was developing. And then I said to myself, you know what? I think this is the time that I can go shop it around. Hey, and even with the little success that I had the beginning couple of years, you know, I did meet a lot of people, you know, a lot of BS artists out there. You know, they all give me all the song and dances. And you start to meet people that want to be able to take your whole project and give you nothing. And if you, like you said, it's very, they try to screw me over. And I said, you know, and you're right. It got very discouraging that I said, you know what? I guess I'm going to have to do this myself. And I went and, you know, I'm telling you, I never once intended to go into the campaign to raise money for this film because I felt that it deserved it more, you know, to get out there more and be more magical. But then I started to say, you know what? If I created this series that people like, then whatever they like, they want to see it again. And why not do it the way I've been doing it and raise some of the monies to do it and give what people have been asking for. They want to see a featured film. And if I went this far, why not do it? You know, why not take that shot and campaign and take the little monies I have and still make a kick-ass zombie film? And that's what discouraged got me. It just getting so discouraged. I said, screw the system, screw everybody. There's a platform to do it. I'm gonna do it. And that's what I did.
Hey man, I wish you like so much success. You seem so genuine and so down to earth, and it's refreshing and cool. And speaking about the funding, you have a GoFundMe page, right? Like we're gonna link that like in the description of the episode.
Yeah. I have. We started, you know, I'll tell you a little bit. We started on a Kickstarter. Realized the Kickstarter, we just wasn't gonna get the whole monies for this Kickstarter, and realizing that the Kickstarter, of course, you don't raise the monies, you're gonna lose everything. So we cut the campaign short, went into Indiegogo for 2 months. We were able to raise a pretty good amount of money, and you know, a lot of people said to me, "You should go start another campaign." I was like, "No, there's no time for another campaign. It's time to do this project." And I said, let's do it. At the same time, I said, let me just open a GoFundMe. Any little monies was going to help me make the production value, you know, much more, feed the cast and crew, which is, you know, I don't have to tell you how much money it is. And, you know, flying people here, you know, some of the actors coming, you know, from certain places and in the country to come here in New York, you know, finding a place for them to live and everything like that. And, you know, amazingly, it's working out very well. It's working out pretty well. And yeah, we opened the GoFundMe, trying to get little monies here and there. And, you know, it happens to be, it's interesting, you know, there's still people that are really still supporting it, you know, giving me $20 here, $30 here, $40. Hey, it definitely adds up. And, it's really exciting. And like I said, you know, for people who's listening out there, you know, who feels that, you know, this industry is very discouraging, you know, go out there and see what you can do, you know, cause there are tools out there to try to help you, you know, get out there. And again, you know, easy for me to say, you know, I bring back the luck factor. I did get lucky with the product, where there is, like you said, there's very dedicated people who believe in the project and is helping me.
That's
So
awesome.
I know it could be definitely harder for like another project, but I believe that, working at it and just keep on going and, whatever, you can do it.
Hey, but it's like a stepping stone thing, man. Like, you're only going to go, further with this, so it's kind of like us with the podcast, we keep reaching these little like milestones and you propel like further. So has money been the biggest obstacle for you, like with making this film?
Yeah, I would say so because, you want to give, you want to do something really good and sometimes you do need, unfortunately, money does dictate the story that you want to tell. And in order for you to take the story, it depends what kind of monies you're going to get for it. So yeah, I would say that's probably like, the number one thing. I mean, besides that, just is always also you have to go out and get the great crew and the cast together. And that everybody always has problems when you up and downs, until you work with them. But money definitely is the key, to getting this. Cause again, a lot of, you get a lot of idiots, that always say, man, it's taking you 4 years to do this project. What the hell? What's taking so long? I'm like, oh, really?
Yeah.
You think it's that easy? You know what I mean?
Right,
Well, not only that, the movie industry works at that pace,
Yeah.
and that's just how it is.
Dude, I don't have to tell you. You don't know how many idiots are telling me, oh man, 4 years. And
it's
finally
taken
you're
so
doing,
long.
yeah, it's like, what are you doing? You're doing something wrong. You don't know how to do it. This should have been out such a long time ago. And I'm like, really?
You know what you tell those people, Hilton? You tell them, really? Well, you've been at your job for 30 years and I haven't seen you accomplish shit. That's kind of how I feel like. I mean, how is that office position holding up? Good? Yeah, great.
That's the best. That's the best. I sometimes I get into debates with them. I actually, one guy just kept on, just annoying me. And I'm like, dude, man,
You have to cut them down.
Yeah, I was like, listen, I said, the best saying, we all know the saying, right? I just say one liner,
Shoot.
Rome wasn't built in one day.
Right.
And that's it.
And, but it's funny because Don was talking about how much support you have, like, on, social media and online. And, like, YouTube is like a cesspool of, like, negativity. Like, people will, like, shit on your stuff. And you got keyboard warriors and backseat drivers. Like, people will be on there and they'll shit on everything. And, I'm big into, like, MMA and, like, the UFC and all that stuff. And it makes me sick sometimes. I see people like shitting on fighters because like I've trained myself for like a while and I have some experience. I know how hard it is and how grueling the training is and everything. So when I see people like, say, oh, that guy's a punk, like he tapped out or he gassed out, like what a puss, whatever. Yeah. It's like, dude, do you realize how hard it is to do what they do? They're in front of millions of people putting it all on the line. Like you get your ass in there and do it and tell me how easy.
And to get punched in the face, right? That's crazy. I don't get that.
And with acting, like I've done shorts and acting's not easy, man. You gotta remember your lines. You have to pull off a scene in front of people. You have to control your nerves. Like it's very difficult, man.
Dave, to jump on top of you here, there's a guy whose name is Rhodey Walker. He, if you're listening, Rhodey, we're trying to get you on the show, but, there's a guy named Rhodey Walker and, he's in a band and one of the times he was touring with a much larger band who does a different style of music. And while he was playing, I was listening to an interview of his. He said the entire time he was playing as a warm-up act for this other band, he was getting booed. Everybody was flipping him the bird. They were throwing shit at him. And I remember he turned to the audience and said, you may be booing and yelling at me, but I'm at least up on the stage trying to do something, And I think that's where the big difference comes in between, those people or, the vitriol that you hear about, they don't realize what it takes to get up there and do something and perform in front of people or to actually try to get out of the 9 to 5 or do something creative and make money at it,
Yeah, like I said, even what you're right with the whole social media that I'm going, I get, the dumb, messages that I get daily is just so stupid, but basically it just, people just, it's garbage, it's this, it's that, but, I know that, like I said, the dedicated fans really, are behind me and I really appreciate that. And, it's just, I think with anything, right? It's just with the world that we live in, right? That everyone has their own freaking opinion.
Right.
And,
Right.
and of course, when something is really good, you don't get as much people to put that out, of course, negativity is like when you go to like a restaurant, it's bad and it's like everyone's going to put it on Yelp or they're going to put it online. But if the restaurant is, you had a good meal and you're satisfied, you're really not going to go online and put it out. But people just
Isn't
love
that
to put
funny?
crap.
It's weird how
Isn't
that
it
works.
funny how that works? Negativity spreads and positivity not as much. It's crazy. It's almost like people feel good for putting others down. It's like, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Any simple thing, dude. It's any simple thing. People just want to just shine on shit, man.
Yep,
It's
shit
just
on.
crazy.
It's insane.
I honestly think that has a lot to do with our minute culture. At least that's what I call it. I call it our minute culture. Everything is second by second, and everything is lived in 30-second increments on Twitter, on Facebook, on Snapchat, whatever the case is. And I think that kind of civilization breeds that type of objectivity, where you're just allowed to just voice off your opinion willy-nilly. And you're just angry about everything.
I just call it Hateration X, man. That's what we're living in right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, and I think it's gonna get worse.
Hilton, I got another question for you. I don't know how much time you have left, but so what's your end goal like in this business, and what do you want to like ultimately accomplish like at the end of it all?
I definitely want to get the whole zombie with a shotgun more out there, to the masses, and be able to tell my own interpretation of a different, zombie, story. But, I definitely I definitely feel that I feel that I want to get out there and to continue something for a very long time. I feel that it has the legs. It has the, the right, chops to get out there in the comic book world and the television series world. I think this project is actually more for like a television series than a, feature film, even
How about
though I
Netflix?
wouldn't mind.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, even though either they both will go either or, you could do sequels with it and everything. But I think I would definitely see this more kind of like a television series where it's told in the New York City kind of storyline, having that whole New York City vibe going on. I don't think we ever had anything like that, a zombie story, because every time we tell the zombies, it's always like in the backwoods.
Right, in the country.
Yeah, in the country and everything. And that's what we're, doing. We're shooting here in New York City trying to tell a story of zombies, even though it's not the zombie story that a lot of people believe it's going to be, where it's going to be zombies roaming around. It's still going to be the backstory of this, these two people that are trying to figure out what's going on in their lives. And we get to, see who they are and we get to relate who they are. And of course the zombie whole thing is there. But my ultimate goal is to get this out to the masses and to keep on telling my story as long as I can in the comic book world or in the, entertainment, feature or television series. So, I definitely believe that this is going to have a longevity in the comic book. Right now we're on the second issue and, we're going to be working on the third in the next 2 months. So we're trying to create a 3 to 4 episodes or issues of the comic book, and we're going to shop for a publisher. And the interesting thing is, the really good thing is that we already have publishers that's really interested in the product.
Awesome.
And we're just figuring out, how to the game plan, the artists, like I said, I'm just blessed with a team of artists, helping me try to figure out who's the best, publisher to go with. And the fact that, the feature length film is going to be created, having that with the comics would leverage, the project to go even higher.
That might blow up.
Yeah, hopefully, definitely that would be so, the ideal. Hopefully that would happen. And, let's see what happens. I mean, we feel like I said, we're in the right track.
So going forward, Hilton, later on down the road, like, do you want to stick with horror or do you have other, like what other genres do you want to touch, like, with your next films?
Well, it's funny that we said that because I began saying that, I never wanted to go, I take that back. I never had the opportunity to do horror in the beginning, even though that was my favorite genre. Mm-hmm. And then now, I'm into the genre. It's like, now I'm so in it now. Am I going to go back to what I used to do with the drama? But my next project, I would love to do, and I give this answer to a lot of people. It doesn't matter what genre it is, as long as it's a good story. I don't really mind if it's horror, action, romance, drama, whatever it is. As long as I can read that script and I can believe that this story is well done and can
Put
be
together.
told. Yes, and can be told, for an audience. I don't care what the genre is. But I am, slated to, do a, romance. It's funny, right? From horror to romance.
Yeah, it's a big difference.
Yes,
It's cool, though.
a romance / drama / comedy, film after, this feature is done. It's not right away, but we, probably get into pre-production and start working, to see when I will be able to shoot it.
Awesome.
So that's to answer the question. That's basically looks like that would be my next project. And this is actually a project that I've been trying to I've been from 2009, believe it or not. I've been, yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's taking you so long, man?
Yeah.
Just messing.
Hurry it up, dude.
Well,
Actually,
I will tell you a little bit what's taking so long. Finally getting the rights for the book. Getting the option finally arrived and got the opportunity. And since 2009, trying to figure out how's this going to get to me, how I'm going to be able to have it in my hands, and just believing, it's like, let's see, maybe this year I can get it that year. And then finally, I guess with the magic word of the day, with the luck, I got it.
Persistence plus opportunity, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's
it
the
was
going
very shocking
phrase.
because, there was during a couple of years, I was like, I totally forgot about it. I'm like, never's gonna happen. And then it's just boom, like.
Hey, well look, it took Michael Crichton 30 years to write the book Sphere, so good things take time. But,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, go ahead.
No. I mean, if you want to finish the statement, you can, feel free. Sorry.
No, the only thing I was going to say, as they always say, everybody has their time.
Yeah. But, I was going to try to, jump off just a little bit off here and, shake the interview up just slightly. There was something I did the last time we were on with a celebrity guest, and I didn't even tell Dave I planned this, but I want to do it again. A couple rapid fire questions for you. So just off the top of your head, as quick as you can. Don't think too much. Just answer briefly. You down? You interested?
Yeah, I'm down. Let's do it.
Okay. All right. Beer or wine?
Beer.
Jazz venue or Coachella?
Jazz.
Hollywood or Bollywood?
Hollywood.
Movie theater or surround sound? Surround sound in your home theater, surround sound. Forgot
movie theater
on that one.
movie.
Figured as much. Sorry.
Theater.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
MP3 or vinyl?
Vinyl.
Salvador Dali Museum or Science Museum?
Oh, Salvador Dali.
There's one in Tampa too. Tropical Island or Snowcap Mountain?
Tropical Island.
All right. And last one, Pokemon or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
Oh, wow, man. You were fast.
Nice. Resident Evil Twisted Metal.
Yeah.
Resident Evil.
I'm surprised you didn't go with the Pokemon. We were just talking about how, intrinsic this was to our society now. It was like
Dude, I tried
like a 2-day fad.
I couldn't get into it, man. I couldn't do it. I think I caught like some kind of weird turtle with an onion on his back. And I just
Onion turtle.
That's it, man. I gave up.
What's funny is after we did the Pokemon episode, I had everybody and their mother, at least around us who knows that we're doing this, coming up to me and saying, it's not Pokemon, it's Pokemon. And it just makes me that much more still want to say Pokemon every single time. I'm resilient. The more they say it, the more I just keep sticking with it. I refuse to change.
It's funny that you said it because, the New York City commissioner here in New York City, last week had to do a special sort of like, press release or whatever you want to call it, a conference, telling all his officers, that they're not allowed to play Pokemon. And the way he said it was so funny on television. He's like, any officers caught playing Pokemon?
That's hilarious.
It was hilarious, and everybody, of course, Twitter was making fun of everybody. Everybody was just hilarious the way he was saying.
It's insane that they even had a conference on this. This is like taking over the world.
Yeah, like the police.
Not only that too, there was a sign I saw over the interstate, that's normally reserved for silver alerts, traffic updates, or like amber alerts, and it said, "Don't Pokemon and drive." Like, isn't that kind of sad? You get the license to drive a motor vehicle, but you're not mature enough to know not to play Pokemon while you drive.
Even the churches, right? They have the signs going on, right? They're talking about you found Pokemon, but have you found Jesus? They have those things. Oh
my God.
Yeah, dude. They had another one that was really good on the sign. It was like, did you, have you found, Pikachu? Mm. Or has Jesus peeked at you? Some corny sayings, but it was just like, God. They're going at it. And
you should take a picture of that next time. That's
dude,
good stuff.
Just go on. It was trending this morning on Twitter. So if you go onto like the old, it should be under, Pokemon and the church and everything. Oh no, it was under what is the church saying? And a lot of the stuff they were saying this morning that was trending was all about Pokemon. And then there was a sign on the church wall that said, if you're playing Pokemon, you're able to come in, but please be quiet, especially if there's a funeral or there's a wedding.
Oh my.
I'm sorry. If there's a funeral and I run a church, no motherfucker's coming in and playing Pokenuts on my pew or whatever it is while some dead person's getting remembered. That's insane.
Yeah. I can't believe it.
Kudos to them though. Like, I think the actual game is pretty ingenious. Like how it uses Google Maps and all that, and how it uses the phone's camera.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
Did you see last week what happened in Central Park when they found one of the characters? I don't know the character's name, sorry, but there was this character they found in Central Park, and they have it on, like, you could see it on I don't know, on YouTube. That people were just running out of the cars, and people was like a mob of people just running to Central Park.
I guess it was a rare character then.
Yes. Somebody told me, but I forgot it. And it was just
herding of idiot humans.
My buddy had no idea what the whole Pokemon thing is, and I described it to him. He's like, "Can somebody help me with this?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's you chase after imaginary creatures in competition with other people chasing after imaginary creatures, and you see who has the more powerful fake creature." And coincidentally, like, you're a virgin till you're like 50. Like, it's crazy, man. I try to get into it, like I said, and, I called like one and I just hung it up. I may try to get Charmander later. I can't lie.
That is funny.
Give it a shot.
Yeah.
But,
is this, are we good on this right now?
I think I have no more questions for Hilton. I just wanted to mention one thing going way back to the title when Hilton mentioned it. It did grab me, like, because I'm a fan of Hobo with a Shotgun, and then, Zombie with a Shotgun's floating all over the place. So, like, I did see it on Twitter, and I'm like, whoa. This is like a one-up from Hobo with a Shotgun. It's a zombie with a shotgun. So I was in with the title, man. So
yeah, dude. I mean, I can't like I think, like I said, I wanted to get an interesting title for people to come and grab their attention to come in to watch the film, and it did work. I mean, even if like I can't even believe, even if you Google Zombie with a Shotgun, it's just unbelievable. Like the hits that it's getting. I'm like, yeah. This is starting to catch with people. Yeah. And I'm like, whoa, wow. That's why I said I have like a responsibility now to, cater to the fans and the people that, really want to see more. And, I'm happy for it.
You can't top Zombie with a Shotgun. I mean, the only thing that can possibly top that at this point is Pokemon with a Shotgun. That's funny.
This time it's personal.
Right now, that's probably the only thing that can do it. But Zombie with a Shotgun, that's a mint title.
Pikachu with a shotgun.
Yeah, but I got nothing else, Hilton. I don't know if Don has anything. We're gonna certainly plug all the pages. I just want to say thank you for being on. We really appreciate it. It was an honor to have you on. You were an awesome guest. And Don, you have anything?
No, I just thank you to Hilton for coming on. If anybody wants to check him out, he's at Hilton Ariel Ruiz on Twitter and at Zombie with a Shotgun, Shotgun. And I think is that on both Twitter and Instagram? Or is that just Twitter?
No, Instagram is Zombie with a Shotgun, because you know how Twitter, you only have to have like 15 characters. I like to tell anybody who's interested in it, just go to Google and you type in Zombie with a Shotgun, and that first episode will pop up. And I always tell everyone, you know, the easiest way to get hooked or not get hooked, to see if you're interested or not, is just to watch that first episode. It's only a little bit over 4 minutes, and that's the only way I could say you could get hooked or not, you like it or not. And if you definitely love zombies, I mean, that's something I think you know, people will love. But that's the best way I would say. And watch that first episode, and then you could. I'm plugged on everything: Facebook.com/Zombie with a Shotgun. Same thing with Vimeo.com/Zombie with a Shotgun. Same thing with YouTube.com/Zombie with a Shotgun. Instagram also. Twitter is just different because of the characters. It's Zombie WA Shotgun. And anybody could shoot me questions. I always answer them. I'm not shy away from answering any questions.
There you go. That's a pretty solid plug, man. No, for us though, Dave, you have anything else you're gonna add? I think you're set. No, yes.
Yeah, I'm all set again. Thanks to Hilton, and I wish you like much success, man, from the bottom of my heart. You're like a really down to earth, cool dude, man. And it's refreshing, like, you know, seeing, you know, interacting with someone that's in that circle that's so down to earth and cool.
Definitely. And look, I appreciate it. And you know what? I love, you know, the feature film will be shooting in August. Maybe you could get me back on end of August or beginning of September, and I can tell you, you know, how things wrapped up.
Yeah.
That would be fantastic. I would love that.
You heard it here. We have audio proof. He's back on.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely come back on. Absolutely. I'll definitely tell you how it went, you know, the horrors of shooting, what was the ups and downs, and, you know, what, you know, obstacles were there. You know, I'm definitely will come back on.
Well, we're always good to hear that stuff. We're always fascinated. Remember to find us. It's on Twitter at Funny Blunt Truth Podcast. Twitter, oh jeez, man, that was a good one. Cut, restart. Here we go. Sorry.
Facebook page,
yeah,
YouTube.
Just everything. Just follow us. Just wherever. You all know where it's at. Twitter, Funny Blunt Truth Podcast. Instagram, Funny Blunt Truth. Same as on Facebook, Funny Blunt Truth Podcast. And the same name, Funny Blunt Truth Podcast. Sorry to say it again, at gmail.com. Questions, comments, concerns. Dude, I messed that all up. We're gonna have to cut that one again.
No, we're gonna leave it. It's gonna be great.
All right. Anyhow, for Dave, Hilton, I've been Don. This is episode 18 on Funny Blunt Truth. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
Thank you, guys.